A couple of weeks ago, Noelle and I finally visited a attraction that we've always heard about in Hattiesburg, the Lucky Rabbit, an antique mall located in Old Town Hattiesburg that I've been told many times that I need to check it out, and I just had never gotten around to it. Well, finally got around to it. It was a bit of a rainy, kind of a gross day, so it was a good time for us to be inside, walking around, looking at stuff. Now, I will admit I am not the biggest fan of old town type places. It's always kind of a pain in the butt to park. It's always end up walking a little bit more than you expected to, and if you're like me, you'll get lost or take the wrong turn, despite being given great navigation from your partner. So we did eventually make it to the Lucky Rabbit after finding a parking spot that was not too far away, and luckily not having to walk in the rain at all. So here's the front entrance to one of the buildings of the Lucky Rabbit. When we first walked in, I was a little taken aback because I had this whole image in my head of kind of a dark place with a low ceiling and a whole bunch of glass display cabinets. Now, don't ask me where I got that from. I did not have any reason to believe that. Turns out the Lucky Rabbit is much more of a kind of a tourist attraction than it is a normal antique mall. This place has a huge open area when you first walk in with tons of huge display pieces from McDonald's play places and large stormtroopers and a big terror dog, just all kinds of gigantic signs and advertising, and it's a really, really cool place just to walk around in and look at. I didn't really expect it to be quite as busy as it was, but as it turned out, it was borderline crowded. And while I was initially a little bummed by the amount of brand new items that were in the place, think Archie McPhee's. It's like retro items that are bought brand new that are kind of pretending to be old. The more we looked around, the more actual vintage and antique stuff we actually found. This is the main open area when you first walk in, and you can see all of these great video game themed items. The Stormtrooper I mentioned, there's Yoda, and there's even the giant baby from Squid Game. I don't think the stall is haunted, but just to be safe, I kept my hands off of it. This was one of the first booths that had toys and such in it, and I had a good time looking at them, but I did not find anything that was priced where I wanted it to be. It's always cool to see a comic spinner rack full of stuff. Here's some of the toys that I mentioned. We got some old Legos and some brand new Star Wars Cos Babies. And then this shelf was full of Xena merchandise. It was cool to see all of these vintage Star Wars figures in the antique mall, but they were all in pretty rough shape, and they were not priced as if they were in pretty rough shape. Now, one really great thing about this place is that you can tell that all of the vendors really put a lot of thought into the display and the orientation of everything. The booths all looked really, really great. So even if I didn't necessarily find something at every booth that I wanted, it was still really cool just to look around and see the layout of things and just kind of experience the booths as the vendors wanted them to be. So this footage is in the second building. We didn't realize at first that there were two buildings, and thankfully we did go into the second building, which is sort of grocery store themed at the entrance. And this was the first booth that we found something that we wanted. Lots of cool vintage t-shirts there. That bootleg Bart shirt is pretty awesome. I don't believe that's a vintage Dolly Parton shirt, but hey, Dolly Parton always gets a win in my book. Well, one more negative thing that I'll say about this place is it's not air conditioned. So if you're gonna go and visit during the summer, make sure that you dress accordingly. They do have a lot of great blowers around, you know, keeping the air moving, so it wasn't unbearable. But I think if it had been in the middle of the summertime, I think we probably would have got out there a lot faster than we did. I believe this was our favorite booth in the whole place, the Wandering Spaceman. They had a great selection of toys and trading cards and just really cool weird stuff. Pretty sure that Lassie's haunted though. You know, I didn't think to check if that Princess Leia standee was for sale. Obviously this vendor is a person after my own heart. Just stacks and stacks of bizarre trading cards. I did almost knock over an entire rack of plates while filming this, but thankfully no damage was done. And that's about the end of my footage from the Lucky Rabbit, but that's not the end of the video. Stick around a little bit longer to see what we brought home. Hey, you made it to the end, and you get to see all of the really cool stuff that Noelle and I brought home from the Lucky Rabbit. I was getting pretty worried there. We made it about halfway through. I don't know if the first building counts as half and the second is another half. I'm not sure how, the square footage kind of breaks down, but we found nothing in the entire first building. And I kind of had just resigned myself, I guess I'm just not going to go home with anything. Not going to make for a very good video without haul at the end. But luckily, we found some stuff as we made our way through the sort of grocery store themed area in the second building. So, okay, I'm going to try and go in chronological order, but I'll probably get it wrong. But I know for sure the first thing that I found to buy was this Chopping Mall robot patch. It says buy or die. I locked eyes with this little fella from across the room, and I know this is like a modern item, and I probably complained about all of the modern items all throughout this video, but the heart wants what it wants. Chopping Mall is one of my favorite goofy horror movies, and this is from it, so I bought it, and I don't know where it's gonna go. Maybe I'll put it on my battle vest. Yeah, I got one of those. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it was fairly priced, and so I brought it home. I think maybe the next thing that we found was this Beanie Babies rat. Beanie Babies, not particularly scarce or rare things. You see them all the time at flea markets, but I don't think I've ever seen this guy before. And the way that Noelle was looking at it when she picked it up, we knew we had to get it. Probably overpaid a little bit. don't know, usually can get a Beanie Baby for like $3 or $4, maybe $5 if you're just really desperate. And this one was a fair bit more than that. But hey, you know what? Look at those beautiful patterned ears. And I mean, just looking into his eyes right now, I'm glad we didn't leave him behind. The next thing I believe that we found, Noelle grabbed this adorable little cat figurine. I don't know what you call that. I guess it's a figurine. It's got to be, right? I think it was only like $5. Cute cat, accurately named. Thank you, Emma's Antiques and Stuff. It looks a little bit like our cat Eloise. I'll put a picture of her, so you, just in case you're not familiar with that little demon. And man, I mean, that's a cute little figurine. All in the same sort of territory, we have this kind of, I don't know, I guess this is ceramic. It looks like brass, kind of from the outside, I guess, but it's labeled as ceramic crawling cat. And oh, it's just so strange. Noelle and I both love weird cat things. She picked it up at first, put it back down, and then decided, no, we gotta have this thing. So very happy to have this creature in our home. I believe the tote bag was the last thing that we got, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you now so that I can finish up with the cards, because that's what we do here. So we have this Heated Rivalry, I'm Coming to the Cottage tote bag. Now, I have not yet watched Heated Rivalry, but Noelle has, and she loves it, so had to bring home this awesome tote bag, and then the last things to show you will be these odd trading card packs. Let's see. These were from a cool booth, the Wandering Spaceman. This was definitely the best booth that had these old card packs in it. The other one, a little bit overpriced, a little bit poor selection in my humble opinion. This place had some weird stuff. Plus they had a crazy looking alien you could take your picture with, and I did. So we got a pack of Iditarod 1992, Alaskan sled dog trading cards. Yeah, definitely was not leaving without that one. We have a Toxic High School pack, but if you can't tell, this is a tiny little pack, like compared to the Iditarod cards, which are normal, quote unquote, normal size cards. We got these little tiny cards, and I've opened the full size ones before, but never these tiny ones. Also I think these were all from the Wandering Spaceman. In a similar vein, we got these baseball greatest gross outs. I've opened a bunch of packs of Awesome All-Stars, and these honestly, they look exactly the same. So I don't know if they rebranded those and sold them elsewhere. It's the same company. Maybe this is like a sequel to it. I don't know. We're going to find out about that. And then we got Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. This is one of Noelle's favorite. I don't know if she'd call it a guilty pleasure or not. You have to let her know that you want to know. But I'm definitely going to make her open this pack for you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But kind of a silly movie in my opinion, but one that I know a lot of people love it, and that's great. And I've never seen a pack of cards from it before in my entire life, so we were definitely bringing that home. And look, it's also from Leaf. And the last pack, and I think it's going to be the one I'm going to open, is this Royal Family Press Pass trading cards. I don't know much of anything about the Royal Family, but I remember all the stuff with Princess Di, very tragic. And of course, all the paparazzi around that. Get your own Royal Family collector binder. Awesome. So I guess let's take a peek at this thing. We got a checklist. Man, that's a big set. 110 cards. Fergie scratch off though. I'm listening. I want the Fergie scratch off now. Okay, we have in a pinch, highly inappropriate behavior there for a royal. Despite the special training Prince Philip gives his sons to teach them to avoid being photographed in compromising or embarrassing situations, they still get caught. Here, Prince Charles, unaware or uncaring, is caught by a quick-fingered photographer while giving the princess a royal squeeze. Okay, we have Princess Margaret with a very regal frame there. I think I just saw the Queen picking her nose, so that's kind of amazing. Oh, so this one's, we were like a few cards away from the Fergie scratch off with that one. Okay, we got, I was right, we got the Queen picking her nose. You know, rest in peace. Sorry you got caught in a compromising situation there. No bed of Tudor roses for Di. Queen declares Anus as horribilis. I don't know what that means. A nice picture of Princess Di there. It's really strange growing up during this time and seeing a lot of, you know, coverage of these people, just not really knowing who they were or caring too much about them, but still knowing who Princess Di was. And it's like, it's the royal family, but why do I care? And we finishing off with a nice caricature of Princess Di. Thanks for hanging out with us while we walked through the Lucky Rabbit. It was definitely not quite what I was expecting it to be, but it's ended up being a good time overall. So definitely worth a visit if you're in the area, and maybe even worth traveling a little ways for to see all of the cool sights. I mean, come on, all of those McDonald's play place parts and the giant terror dog and stuff. That was great. Absolutely wonderful. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, let's all try to stay cool.